So, two things I noticed in the trends lately. One is all the big game corporations keep making the worst decisions and disappointing the player base. Two is people on the internet condemning said corporations for doing so. And these people include gamers who have been supporting their brands, non-gamers like content creators and YouTubers, journalists who don't even play games, activists for social justice reasons, and those who have no interest in the outcome, but chimed in anyway. One of the most recent controversies involves Assassin's Creed Shadows. And apparently it hasn't had the greatest reception since its very first trailer, for reasons not a lot of us would have expected. Now, I've played all of the Assassin's Creed games, and I enjoyed every single one, yes, even Mirage to an extent, and this is the first time I've ever seen such backlash from such a prominent franchise. And, I was like, something must have gone wrong, because I watched the trailer without going into the comments, and I thought it was great. But apparently it wasn't. So I decided to go down the rabbit hole, and here's what I think. But first, I just want to clarify that I'm not here to defend Ubisoft. I mean, I love the AC franchise, but I'm not anything like the extremely passionate PlayStation fans. I think they should be held accountable where necessary, but I also believe it works both ways. So as a consumer, I always try to give them credit where it's due. Alright, so with that said, I'm sure you're all aware that we're in a very different era of not just gaming, but anything that involves the media, celebrities, and politics. Especially politics. Everything we see on the internet nowadays seems to carry a political undertone, and you're either politically correct or you're canceled. So with that in mind, whenever you see an offset element, particularly race or gender, in an established franchise, like Star Wars for example, there will be pushback. The main reason is the people who come to see the content they used to love expect to see what they used to love. And when they don't, that's a problem. Assassin's Creed Shadows features a samurai who doesn't exactly appear like what most of us would expect of a samurai. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a historian and tell you what happened in ancient Japan, but let's neither pretend like Ubisoft is your history teacher. Assassin's Creed never claimed to be historically accurate. They only use certain elements of history as references, and they always write their own story in the games. The only things they use to portray history are the architecture, environment, and cultural atmosphere. And that's it. Assassin's Creed is a game, not a history lesson. And the focus has always been the fictional story about the characters and, well, killing people. And another weird thing is that almost 100% of the criticism come from the fact that the samurai isn't a traditional Japanese samurai. I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. If the game is set in Japan, you would expect to see a Japanese samurai, and I think that's kind of a weird direction for Ubisoft to take. But to call them racist and pandering and all those names, is that necessary? Is that going to magically make the game better for you? And not to mention the fact that everyone completely ignored the other protagonist, which is a Japanese shinobi. And from what I could see in the trailer, she looks amazing. I mean, at least better than whatever this is. I have always wanted to play a female ninja, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. And now we finally get to do it. No one is talking about it. Why? Because it doesn't get the views. Positivity just doesn't generate enough traffic. And God forbid talking about a good thing a company does is a sin these days. But from what we can see in the trailer, there are two playable characters, the shinobi and the samurai. There's apparently oppression going on just like in any AC game, and the characters meet and bond over tragedy or whatever and team up and eliminate the bad guys. Pretty formulaic, I admit, but that's just how Assassin's Creed is. They're usually more focused on the action anyway. And that is all we get from the trailer. Yet somehow the almighty gamer prophets already decided that it's not as good as Ghost of Tsushima. This is a cinematic trailer, but for some reason these tarot readers of gaming already know that Ghost of Tsushima is 10 times better. Like, how do you know that? The game is not even out. We haven't seen any gameplay or anything inside the game. Don't get me wrong. Ghost is a good game, but to compare it to any other game, you need to have played it first. Alright, so now let's talk about the pricing. A lot of people complain that the game is too expensive. I agree with that. But to be fair, let's look at the options. You have the standard edition for $70. That's fine. That's the new standard these days. If you pre-order, you get the extra mission. Whatever, all good. Now, most of the complaints come from the last two options, saying it's too much. But listen, you're not supposed to buy those two editions. I mean, think about it. Why would you pay for something that's not coming out for at least another year? Yeah, there are 2 expansions, but we haven't even got the base game. Why would you pay for those now? And the goodies that come with Ultimate Pack will always be available even after the expansions come out. And those who complain about 5 skill points being pay to win have never played an AC game. 5 skill points is nothing. And it's a single player game, so no such thing as pay to win. Win against who exactly? And the skins will end up in the shop even if you don't buy the Ultimate Pack, so there's no reason to worry about buying it. And like if you've played any of the RPG trilogy, you'll realize that all of them had expansions, and if you add them all up, each of them will cost pretty close to $100, with AC Odyssey costing a bit more, I believe. So even if you decided to buy the Ultimate Pack for Shadows for some reason, you'll probably spend only a bit more than what you spent on Odyssey and Valhalla, assuming you bought all the expansions for both, of course. And I'm not defending the pricing, just to make it clear. I really think games are getting too expensive. And with the economy in its current state, it's even more difficult for gamers to continue supporting the franchise they love if the price keeps going up. If publishers really care about their fans, they gotta do something to make their games more accessible and affordable. But I'm not an economist, so I can't offer a solution to that. But anyway, in conclusion, listen, if you're a long-time AC player and you want to play Shadows, you need to consider your own interests and finances, not other people's opinions. Those who condemn the game, the YouTubers, the journalists, and whoever, they were never going to play the game anyway. They're only here for the drama. They're not here to look out for you. They don't know what you like. I mean, neither do I, but all I know is I'm going to play this game. And if you're like me, you should too. Wait for the gameplay trailer. And if you like it, play it when it comes out. Pre-order a day before if you want for that bonus mission or whatever. Don't buy the deluxe or ultimate pack. It's a trap. At least wait for them to drop a trailer for the expansions, which is like more than a year from now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's about all I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.